There we go. Freaking finally got my stuff together. Now, give me a second while I freak out in front of you guys. Yep, that's good. Yep, that's good. Yep, that's good. Yep, that's good. All right. Ha! Now then, pretty sure everything is actually going good. We're gonna settle down. Oh. Yep, gotta do that. How's it going, everyone? My name is Monkey Jam, and this is the Grotto Show, man. It has been an interesting day. Well, I say interesting day. I basically woke up and just did a lot of prep. But I woke up super early, so then I did a lot of prep. Said, I think I'll be fine. Maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. I'll go ahead and play some games. So started playing some games, and then, look at the time. It's almost 12. I gotta do some prep. And here we are. Oh my gosh, I am a disorganized mess. Or at least to some people, I'm a disorganized mess. But the thing is, I am your disorganized mess. I am here to entertain you with my foolishness, and I'm proud to do so. Like, honestly, I'm being very honest. I'm actually proud to do the things that I do for you guys. Now, as you can see, switched up the settings here just a little bit. I wanted to test some things out just to see how they looked. And so far, everything is looking okay. I didn't test a few other things, but I just need to see them, and it won't give me the preview option. So you gotta love it. So the only thing that we can do now is just hope that everything turns out well. Pretty sure everything will turn out well, but let's get into the topics, people. And the topics today are a doozy, man. They are an absolute doozy. And I just cannot wait to just share the love with you guys, I should say. just share the love with you guys, because I think we're gonna have some good topics to go around. How you guys doing? Like, that's a genuine question. I really want to know, how are you guys doing? I should hope that you guys are doing well. At least that's my general hope, is that you guys are doing well. It's been a week, hasn't it? Crazy little work week. Everybody's trying to do their best with what they got, It's crazy out here, man. Absolutely a show. But I won't say it's a shit show, but it's definitely I should say it's definitely something to behold. You know what I mean? It's definitely been, I guess you could say, your standard week in 2014. So buildings burning somewhere, somebody screaming about some sort of atrocity or injustice. You already know how it is. But the thing is, there are injustices everywhere. I would be remiss to ignore that there are things that slight people, I should say. There are slights that go around, and that they affect people differently. Some, they can live with it, some can't live with it, and in other times, some slights can ruin an entire person's view on a work of art, especially if that work of art is heralded as borderline perfect. There's not a lot of things in this world that can be considered perfect. There's hardly a perfect story out there, hardly a perfect show, hardly a perfect anything, one could say. But there is one thing, and I do mean one thing, that is considered perfect in quite a few mediums. And that one perfect thing is what we're going to talk about first. Cowboy Bebop. I love this. I absolutely love this. It's a good series. It's a very good series. And those that are actually into the anime scene, they know exactly what this show is about, It's good. It's good entertainment, all about literal space cowboys, bounty hunters, doing the do, thugging it out, and it's just raw. It's very raw. Like that's all that I can really say. And even I, the damn near perfect English linguist that I am, the connoisseur of words, even I fail to describe just all that this series does. Now, mind you, I don't feel like sucking this show off. There are quite a number of things that I have questions about, and there's quite a number of questions that the show itself doesn't go forward to answer, but it's still an all around good show. So when you have a show like this that's just almost borderline perfection, hey, what's good? What's good? It's all good. It's all good. As you already know, and I'm sure as the rest of you guys know as well, you can always catch my streams on YouTube after I'm done with them. Feel free to leave comments, ask questions in there. Tell me what all that you want to do. It's all good. It's all good. And feel free to support me any way you can. I'll take a subscription. I'll take a like. I'll take 50 cents. And I will definitely take you sharing my stream. Share them out. Clip them if you want to. Do whatever it is that you need to do, but spread the word that Monkey is here to scream about whatever you want him to scream about. I am an entertainer first, an informer second, and I'm here to inform you that I'm here to entertain you. How you doing, Banan? How you doing? I'm glad that you can make it. But back to the topic at hand, Cowboy Bebop is one of those animes that's widely considered to be borderline perfect. And I mean borderline in the sense of it's on the border between, yeah, this show is great and, bro, this show is perfection incarnate. It's right on that border. Now, when you have a property like this, if you already have a quote-unquote anime adaptation, you tend to leave it just at that. And an adaptation isn't evolution, to break down definitions, if you will. Evolution is basically changing from one state of form into another, you know, like you're practically becoming something completely different. So, with an example of evolution, that OC that's been in your head for God knows how long, I would say ever since middle school, yeah, that weird little character in your head that you're just like, oh, it's so cool, I feel it, this is the personification of me, you know. Now, over time, and I do mean over time, maybe you add things to it. Maybe you add characteristics, different clothes, or something like that. That is, I would say, adaptation in a way, because you're not changing the overall form of that character, you're just changing things about that character. You're adding things, subtracting things, you know, basically adding on to it, slowly shaping it into I would say a different version of itself, but it's still the same version. As is with Cowboy Bebop, when you take the manga and then you turn it into an anime, you're basically just adapting it into another visual form. Instead of reading it and watching the pictures, you're basically making the pictures move. You're adding something to it. You're adding vocals to it. Maybe you subtract a few scenes here and there that don't really affect the story. Not to a certain extent. It's not part of the core of the story. That's what happens with every major transition from manga to anime. You can't have an absolute perfect adaptation, but Cowboy Bebop actually gets pretty damn close in making sure that the story is still being told, the characters are being represented in their correct form, and it still carries the same poom pow energy of the manga, and it translated into the anime. And one could say, if you do it well enough, the anime itself actually increases the power of, like, you know, the energy, the vibes, the emotions associated with this manga, with this literary medium turning into another visual medium. It can amplify it. Now, I won't lie, it is a difficult task to adapt these things into motion picture. Is relatively hard. And I mean relatively in the case of it all depends on how much effort and funding that you put into it. So, when you already have something that's in a literary form into something that's in a motion picture form, one could consider that that is the movie and or show adaptation of that. But no, dear viewers. No. We can go further. And I do mean further than just sticking to, animated stuff. Now we got to push the boundaries. Now we got to see if real people can actually do this stuff. Now, mind you, if you're in the anime community, even somewhat, you know that most anime, and I do mean most anime, are not too kind to the human body. They're not. They tend to perform some incredible feats, some crazy stuff, crazy expressions that not even the human face can freaking mimic. That's all the beauty of animation. Period. That's the beauty of animation. Is that you can do these things that no normal human would want to do. So, to arrive to the point, why, and I do mean why, would you just go ahead and make a live action remake of an anime that was considered to be borderline perfect? And not only that, but you managed to fuck up everything about it. You managed to fuck up everything about it. Now, you may not be a Cowboy Bebop nerd like me, so let me go ahead and point this out. These characters have character. You know, you could just see it in it. You don't even need to know names. You could just see how each character has their own little style, their own little flavor. Their personality is shown through everything. Now look at this. Just look at it. It's drab. It's dark. It's soulless. It's just, ugh. It's disgusting. Now, here's where most people, I would say, that would go against this, that they would usually say. This little character right here, one on the right, you know, that sexy one. You clearly see the breast, right? You see the outfit. Yeah, she's slutty and everything, but I want to remind you that this woman is a bounty hunter. And not only a bounty hunter, but a moderately good one. She uses her looks in order to get what she wants. While she's not the most accomplished bounty hunter in this story, she is rather successful in seducing whatever target that she has. Alright? Now, mind you, she ain't a fighter, but she is goddamn looking, and she uses that to her advantage in order to basically secure money. Now, the thing is, once again, she dresses like this for a purpose, but even this state of dress isn't exactly slutty. Like, look at her. Like, true, she's showing some skin, and there's not a trace of bra in sight, mind you. But she's still relatively clothed. Like, look at her. She can still move in that tight-fitting stuff. Well, not even tight-fitting. Like, a good amount of it is form-fitting, one would say. I won't even say tight. It's just relatively form-fitting in certain areas. And she has tights on with white boots. You don't see the white boots, but trust me, there are white boots. But all in all, this character on the right, this female character, Faye Valentine, she's an accomplished bounty hunter. You can see the character on her face. So take that level of just personality distinction and compare it to wherever the hell this is on the right. Like, look at her. I heard her once described that she basically walked in at TJ Maxx while they were having a sale and walked out looking like that. And honestly, I can't fault that thinking, because look at it. She looks bland, soulless, with a mustard color shirt, like more mustard than the actual mustard color shirt. Well, mustard colored everything over here. The tights, like, they're there, but they're black. They're damn near camo. You can't see them. Like, you can see the tights, you can see the shorts. Like, if you really, really, really look, you can see them. Not an accurate representation of the character. That is true. But the most egregious thing that I should say is wrong with this show so far is take notice of Brother Man over there in the center. You know, Chocolate Goodness, the guy that you can barely fucking see. You know, him? Alright, let me show you who he's supposed to be in the original freaking anime. You see that big boy in the back? Right behind the redhead? That's what Brother Man is supposed to be. And and oh man, you guys won't guess the name. But if you're a Cowboy Bebop fan, you already know where I'm going with. Big guy in the back behind the redhead. His name is Jet Black. Jet Black. This man's name is Jet Black, and not only that, but it gets better. It gets better, people. His nickname on his home world is the Black Dog. His actual name, Jet Black, his moniker, the Black Dog, and Netflix, in their infinite wisdom, casted a black man. And not only a black man, not only just a black man, but a black man. Woo! They're trying to do the freaking Zack Snyder tone down everything. Now, the thing is, I'm not going to get into Dude on the Left. I honestly don't. I don't have a bone to pick in that fight, but I do have the bone to pick with absolute freaking just race swapping. The whole race swapping thing just confuses the hell out of me. Doesn't it confuse the hell out of you? Like, doesn't it? I feel like it's confusing. Because I don't know why that they do this. I don't know why they do this stuff. But anyway, to make a severely long story short, Netflix is investing heavily, and I do mean heavily, into live action remakes of their more popular original shows and licenses. Now, clearly, Netflix doesn't own Cowboy Bebop in the slightest. The actual people that own the IP for Cowboy Bebop is called Sunrise. And Sunrise, well, there's a lot of people have complaints about Sunrise, but that's not the point of this vid. That's not the point of this stream. The point of this stream is to basically tell you that if you ever see a live action anything that's being provided by Netflix, is probably gonna be bad. And you're right, Stoofs. Even I don't know why I watch freaking Netflix these days. Maybe it's because I really want to see what the now train wreck Stranger Things show. I want to see how it ends. You know, I watch Stranger Things like I watch Game of Thrones. It slowly turns into a train wreck, but you just can't stop watching it. Like, you must know how this is going to inevitably end before you just wash your hands of it and say, well, I'm never watching that again. And that's how I feel is most of the stuff on freaking Netflix, period. It's just like, wow, great. I will never watch this series ever again. Wow, that was a great movie. I'll never watch it again. Like, stuff like that. So, did I call you Stoofs? Oh no, I'm sensing Stoofs right now. I'm sensing Stoof's energy right now. I need him in my life, dude. Well, I'm serious, Banan. It's fucking. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about freaking Netflix, man. And dear viewers out there that are watching this afterwards, like, what do you think? What do you think we need to do as far as freaking Netflix, like, they have to be stopped. They must be stopped with this. And not only just with this, but they're really thinking about adapting some of the most weird stuff. They're collecting IPs like candy and thinking that, well, if we just make this live action schlock, throw it at the Western audience, and then go to the Eastern audience in Japan and just throw original anime after original anime after original anime at them, then we can double the profits. That's not how this shit works. That's not how capitalism works. And most importantly, that's not how Japan works, all right? Just because you have you have the license to an IP to an anime and make a live action and you strictly throw it at the Western audience does not mean that the Eastern audience, who it was originally for, are going to freaking ignore that. Just as we Western anime fans don't like this Cowboy Bebop live action, the Eastern audience don't like this live action as well. And here's the problem with Netflix. Both sides of the fandom remember this. We'll always remember when Netflix decided to basically shit on an IP, leave it and forget it. We're always going to freaking know. We're always going to know. We're always going to freaking remember. So I don't know why that they do this. But once again, another thing that I don't know why they do is why they always try to just do more than what they're supposed to be doing. And here's how I describe that. They'll take anime like this, Cowboy Bebop, which is borderline perfect, once again, and try to do a live action, thinking that people are going to watch it, and B, that it's actually feasible to do in live action. But monkey, you say, it's just space bounty hunters. With a little bit of CGI, they can freaking do it. Alright, fine. Yeah, sure, with a little CGI, they can maybe pull it off. They'll probably pull it off just as much as they pulled off freaking Star Wars, the second trilogy. And we all know how that went. Yes, we do. We all know how that fucking went. But Netflix doesn't give up. Netflix looks at the impossible, laughs at it, and then tells you it's now your obligation to buy into their BS. And what I mean buy into their impossible BS, One Piece. One Piece. One Piece. The literal monster of the anime industry. Like, this show is very intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. It's intimidating for newcomers. If you don't know a thing about One Piece, this is a very intimidating show. Not as far as subject matter. I mean, it's your standard shonen. It's one of the four pillars that basically that made anime even more popular over here in the West, and that was shonens. You know, you had One Piece, you had Naruto, you had Bleach, and you had Dragon Ball Z. Those were the four pillars that really raised up, I would say, this generation of anime. And One Piece is still going. Not only in the manga, but also in the anime as well. There's no end in sight with these things. Alright? Now, the thing that you typically want to do whenever you do a live action anything is to make sure that whatever, I would say, adaptation that you're further adapting into a live action show or movie, you kind of have to make sure that it's fucking done. One Piece isn't done. And not only is One Piece not done, One Piece is borderline impossible to make into a live action show. Do you hear me, Banan? Do you guys hear me out there listening after the fact? Do you guys understand how borderline impossible it is to adapt this show into a live action show or even a fucking movie? Alright, like, let me tell you the sheer impossibility of this. The first arc the first freaking arc is already bad. Because the first arc is literally Luffy getting his base crew together. His base crew. Nami, Zoro, Usopp, Sanji. That's the base crew. The absolute base crew. Alright? And then they get into the other sides of the crew as well. Like, just, there's no way. There's no way that this can be done. There's no way that this can be done. Like I said before, that's the first arc. Now, if you really want to get into it, and I do mean if you really want to get into it, there's small little separate arcs. I honestly consider the arc of Luffy setting out and Luffy finding Zoro to be one complete arc. Because it all kind of just wraps up together and really sets off the themes of adventure. But the problem is that even that one little comparatively small arc is full of the craziest shit. It's full of some crazy out of this world shit that even if you even if you freaking MCU CGI this shit, it would look borderline stupid. And what I mean borderline stupid is that, for example, the Japanese tried to make a live-action version of Attack on Titan, and it bombed in Japanese theaters. It didn't even make it to the West. Them doing live-action of the anime bombed. And you really think a Western company is ready to handle an Eastern show of such magnitude as freaking One Piece? Freaking Luffy, main character, has statues all over fucking Japan. This, like, Luffy, if I have to put it in terms of popularity, Monkey D. Luffy, the main protagonist of One Piece, is to the Japanese as Spider-Man is to the freaking West, is to America. Luffy is freaking Spider-Man. Alright? That's how much he's freaking beloved. And we don't have Spider-Man statues. We don't even have Superman statues. And they got Goku statues over there. Alright? Think about that. Think about how much they revere these characters. How much they follow them. And how much we revere our characters and follow them. One Piece is an absolutely impossible show to adapt to live action simply because of the themes, the gore, the powers, the creatures, the sheer style of the anime. It's too much. It is too much. There's too much going on with this show to make a live action version of it that just even closely matches the even most basic like OVAs of the show. It's impossible. But like I said to you guys, Netflix laughs at the impossible. Yes, despite all odds, there is a One Piece live action adaptation coming to Netflix, and I promise you it's going to fail. Now, I won't lie, there's going to be a lot of hate viewers for it. Me, I don't indulge in hate viewing or ironic viewing only because, you know, if I don't like it, I don't like it. But this, ooh boy, this is bad. This is going to be bad. It's going to bomb. Fans are going to be blamed, just like Cowboy Bebop. They're always going to blame the fans. And there's a very large amount of people. I say large, but they tend to be the minority and mainly based on Twitter. Those that just say like, oh, well, give it a chance. You just don't know. Oh, you're just mad that they changed the outfit because it's not sexy enough. Or, you know, hey, you don't know how this all is going to work out. How can you judge something that doesn't even come out yet? Give it a chance, the whiny bitches. The whiny bitches, I say. These people defend anything. Any type of show that's not their show. And I need to be very specific on this. These types of people will defend anything as long as it's not their show. One Piece, well, it's too stylized. It's too sexy. There's no way that they could carry those themes into the live action. So if Nami, big-titted, red-headed Nami is somehow, gains a few pounds and turns 1,000 shades darker, it is what it is. That's not to mention the rampant extermination of redheads, and this is the redhead, as far as Japan. That's like changing Mary Jane into a fucking black person. Oh, fucking wait! Anyway. Anger aside, this is going to be borderline impossible. This is going to fail miserably, and I do mean miserably. And wow, I'm already jumping subjects. But if you guys caught that brief glimpse, you already know what I'm going to talk about. People who are staunch defenders of these live-action remakes will always tell you the same thing, to give it a chance, that you're just mad because the sexual themes are toned down, or you're just mad because, you don't like representation. Oh yeah, black people exist, Hispanic people exist, blah, 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 blah. It's fucking stupid, and these people are stupid. And not only stupid, but extremely hypocritical, especially when it's their time to have their show adapted to live action. And let me tell you, when they are receiving a piece of their own medicine, they hate it, people. Oh man, do they hate it. And what I mean by hate, let me tell you how much they fucking hate it. You guys remember this? You guys remember this? You guys remember this? Look at this. She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. One of the, I won't say most controversial cartoons on Netflix, but definitely controversial. Controversial in the sense that the original He-Man and She-Ra fans absolutely adored this show. And I can't blame them. I watched a few episodes and physically had to go to the hospital. It was that bad. Freaking Doc said to me, if you ever do that again, whatever you did, you'll suffer extreme liver failure, lung cancer, and you'll get COVID Prime. That's right, people. This Ben 10 crossdresser almost gave me COVID Prime. That's after we run out of the Greek alphabet, alright? Prime COVID. You gotta sign up for it. But I almost got a free subscription because freaking Ben 10 decided that he needed just a little bit of more money. He threw on a wig, put them high heel boots on, and decided to go and get that money. And I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him. He's looking good for a man his age. Oh God, I hate Shadman. Shadman was the one that made that comparison, and now I can never see it. Look at this. This is a woman. This is a biological female. She looks like Ben 10, and you'll never unsee it. You'll never unsee it. Look at it. You'll never unsee it. Now, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power was controversial in a variety of issues. A, that basically it strayed far away from the original interpretation of She-Ra. B, that the showrunners behind this rampantly and aggressively attacked original fans in order to curry favor with new fans that dropped it as soon as, each season was done. And I want to say, after having a grand total of, 4 seasons, it only reached 50 episodes, while the original She-Ra show reached 150 episodes and technically it only has 2 seasons. Think about that. Think about that. That's called quality, ladies and gentlemen. Quality stuff, man. Absolutely quality stuff. Now, the thing is, these small individuals, these people with no taste in animation, they like this stuff. They absolutely adore it. And you know what? I ain't mad at them. If you like the show, if you ever want to watch the show or have watched the show and enjoyed it, go ahead. I am absolutely freaking fine with it, alright? I enjoy my fair share of trash all the damn time. And I do mean all the damn time, alright? All the damn time. I enjoy trash. And you gotta have a little bit of junk food, not only in real life, but also in entertainment. And in my opinion, She-Ra, the Princesses of Power, is just junk food. And since I'm on a diet, entertainment standpoint, I can't indulge in such junk food, alright? So if you want to watch it, you can watch it. But it was a controversial show nonetheless. And these people absolutely just worshipped the ground in which this show walked on. And when it ended on a cliffhanger and was thusly canceled, that fandom was just absolutely angry, pissed off, infuriated, was literally shaking and crying because their favorite show was canceled. Now, mind you, I've had a good amount of favorite shows canceled on my face. I didn't shed a fucking tear. You want to know why? Because there was always another good show on, alright? There was always another good show, and I never really got attached to shows around that time. Unless it was Avatar. But then again, Avatar is worth attaching yourself to. But back to the point. These people were angry, demanding DreamWorks and Netflix greenlight another season to wrap up everything. Give us more content, Daddy! And Netflix responded. Both DreamWorks and Netflix responded to their pleas and decided to give them more content. And you want to know what they gave them? They gave them a live action movie! And not only is it a live action movie, but even better people, it's a live action movie that has absolutely nothing to do with She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Absolutely nothing, and these people are furious about that. And Banan, you're absolutely right. Not watching TV anymore? Absolutely fine. For some ethereal reason, I've actually found myself reading a lot more. I've been reading a lot more manga as of late. And shoot, just reading manga, reading comics, watching just a little bit of anime on my sites. What's good, Stoops? What's good, Stoops? This man over here literally force-feeding me $5. This man, like, I promise you, this man has been feeding me nothing but Little Caesars, and I'm here for it. I'm about to get fat, Stoops, man. You keep feeding me money, and I keep getting Little Caesars, dude. One day I'm gonna have a sponsorship, and I'm gonna shout you out. That's right, people. That's what I want. I want you to share this stream, or even share this specific clip of the stream. Share it around. Let's boost up our following. Let's boost up our community and get me a Little Caesars sponsorship. That's what I want. That's all I want out of life. That's what's good. That's gonna be my freaking measure of success, is getting a sponsorship from Little Caesars so that I can absolutely fuck up their commercials. All right. And you know what? I have taken your money, Stoops. I've taken it. And every time I take your money, I feel like a piece of shit because I don't feel like I'm entertaining you enough. I promise you, I don't feel like I'm entertaining you enough to be paid. But he keeps paying me. I'm simping for this guy when I should be simping for Ben 10 over here. Ben Tennyson. You'll never unsee it, people. You'll never unsee it. You will never unsee it. But anyway, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power's fandom received unto them new content. And that new content came in the form of a live action remake that has absolutely nothing to do with the quote unquote original series that they have grown to love. So you want to know what they did? You want to know what they did, dear viewers of mine? They did a change.org. They did a change.org, people. A change.freaking.org. Change.org. Okay, my guy. Now, to answer your question, Banan, as far as donating, if you ever want to donate, I do have a link down below that actually goes to my Streamlabs site where you can actually donate over there. I'll take any amount, though I think the minimum amount is $5, $8. Stoofs, I'm pretty sure you can tell them that. But honestly, I'll take 50 cents. Hell, I'll take a fucking penny at this point, man. I'll take whatever you have. I'll take a subscription, a like, a share. I don't care, man. As long as you tell me, hey, monkey, you're entertaining me. Keep doing the good work. Keep doing God's work. I will keep doing God's work. Blessed be Tahanaman and Wukong. Thank you, dear people, and I will continue to entertain you as much as possible. Now, let's take a look at this mess. And I do mean this mess, people. They got a change.org, a petition to cancel a live-action She-Ra and create a movie based on the animation. Alright? Ain't this something? Ain't this something? They are literally just feeding off of the medicine that's been served to the likes of me for years. And they don't like the taste, people. They don't like the taste when they swallow it. And here's the funny part. Here's the absolutely funny part. The people that run this specific petition, this change.org, freaking, they believe that if they get 2,500 people to sign the petition, that it would get noticed and picked up by local news networks and social media. Ain't that funny? Now let me tell you something. Let me truly tell you something. There's another petition that's out currently. It's a petition against Aquaman 2 with the whole Amber Heard situation. It's basically a giant petition to boycott the movie on the account of Johnny Depp getting basically blacklisted from Hollywood and Amber Heard basically being worshipped by Hollywood. That's a problem. Uneven consequences. So they're going to boycott the freaking show. Well, boycott the movie. Y'all want to know how much it took for that change.org petition to be on local news and social media? You want to know how much it took? 1 million signatures. It took 1 million signatures for it to be picked up by journalist sites and some news shows, as well as being spread around on social media. It took 1 million signatures. And these people think that 2,500 is going to get them noticed. Ain't that funny? It's fucking hilarious. Ain't it funny? Ain't it funny? But I wanted to comment on this because it shows the hypocrisy with these people. They tell you that, oh, the show that you like being adapted into live action, well, screw you. You have no idea what they're going to do. Maybe they can't bring the themes that you like into that show because it just can't be done. Women aren't proportioned that way. Men shouldn't act that way. Those jokes shouldn't be told that way. You know. Or how can you judge something that doesn't even come out? You haven't even touched it yet. They'll tell you these things, yet they'll do this as soon as their stuff is affected. Ain't it a shame? Ain't it absolute hypocrisy? Almost worthy of me throwing my trident at them and seeing them writhe in agony as green fire consumes their corpse. But no, it's not worth it. Because I find it absolutely too hilarious that this is their freaking reaction, while people on my quote unquote side of the chain just simply accept it, plan on watching the show fail, and also plan on being blamed because the show failed. It's an endless cycle that just, it's irritating. It's absolutely irritating. But there's more than one thing that's irritating, and that is just journalists in general having a problem with things. Have you guys ever noticed that? Like really, have you guys actually noticed that? Journalists these days, they have a weird culture problem. All right. And I ain't mad at the whole culture problem. Some things age out, some things are ageless. But these journalists seem to confuse the two. What is ageless and what has aged out? And more importantly, I would say honestly just minding their own business at the end of the day. But the thing is, the journalists these days, especially media journalists, the ones that go through shows, movies, music, and most especially video games, they have a bone to pick with people that enjoy video games. That's right, they have a bone to pick with you and what you enjoy. All right? Because for some reason, what you enjoy somehow, some way goes against their morality, goes against their standard values. I don't know. It's very weird. Ethereal, one would say. It's insanity that you actually care about the preferences of an audience, and more importantly, you care that a gaming company will skew more towards what their audience want than what you want. Isn't that weird to you? It's weird to me. It's extremely weird to me. And the thing is, they won't stop. They won't stop at anything. Where it's from toxicity in the chat, which, let's be real here, if you gather a bunch of guys into one area, put a game of cards, like put a game of Uno on a table and get like maybe 5 guys in there, and you will see toxicity at its max. But it's not toxicity. It's not toxicity at all. It's called competitiveness. Trash talking. Alright? Or talking shit, if you will. It's our way of stoking up the stakes in the competition, egging each other on to push further, try harder, think more, do more. It's how we push each other and encourage each other to actually live up to our expectations of each other. You get a pack of Uno between 5 guys, you're gonna hear racial you're gonna hear racial slurs, you're gonna hear obscene nicknames, you're gonna hear profanities abound, you're going to hear desk slams, you're going to hear yelling, you're going to hear laughing, and general trash talking. But you want to know what all that does with guys? And a good amount of girls as well. But guys especially, it hypes us up. It causes us to do better. Alright? To try harder, to do more. It's encouragement. Harsh encouragement. Very harsh encouragement. But encouragement nonetheless. Because you must... someone just insulted you across the table. Are you going to let that slide? No. So you're going to pop that reverse on them, hit them with that draw two, draw two, draw two, draw two, draw two. Eat my ass, bitch. You just took the whole deck. Uno, eat my ass. Like, that's what you do. That's what you do. Not only as a guy, but most importantly, even like taking away sex from it, taking the subject of sex out of it. That's what you do as a gamer. As a gamer, those insults that are flying in your face, you want to challenge them. How do you challenge them? By doing better. By doing better. Because guess what? You're not going to let that sit. If someone insults you and you fail to freaking outdo their insult with performance, you lost. You have taken your L, if you will. And sometimes you just need to take your L. Sometimes you do suck at a video game. But journalists want to combat that And somehow, some way, even above that, they want to combat sexuality. The male gaze, if you will. That's right, people. They want to take away your titties and your ass. They want to take it away. But no, they don't want to take away the females' eye candy. No, they want to take away the male's eye candy. Because how dare you look at a woman like that? How dare you design a woman with such improportionate figures? Where are her organs, you may say? Gaming journalists hate hot women. And let me tell you, they hate hot women to the point to where they'll go after a culture that loves hot women. What do you mean, Monkey? What are you talking about, Monkey? What is this leading to, Monkey? Well, let me tell you, my dear apes. This specimen of woman is from a newly, well, not even newly released, a newly teased game called Project Eve. It was recently showcased on this past, what was it? Sony Play. Is it called Sony Play or Play something? But basically, it's the Sony summer event where they start, like, you know, introducing games back to back game trailers. Now, this specimen of Korean delicacy has apparently a prime ass. And I've seen the trailer myself. If you haven't seen the trailer, go ahead and watch it. It actually looks like a very good hack and slash story-based game with a wonderful character, and you'll see the parallels in just a second, mind you. But man, when I tell you there's a lot of crotch shots and booty shots, woo, man, it made me want to pre-order. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie, people. I kind of want to play this game. Why did I sound like fucking Obama? I don't know. Look at those hips. I mean, they may be slim, but they're definitely child birthing. But anyway. But look at this prime specimen of woman. Curvy, hourglass. But she got the slim hourglass figure with the tight onesie suit. Cybernized to character. And what is that? That looks like a fucking tie. This woman's killing it. She looking sexy, she looking good, she looking powerful, and she will show you the error of your ways in the most seductively Asian way that she can. Project Eve is a Korean game, and people didn't like that. People didn't like this. Like, now the thing is, you won't see it in most of the articles that you see. You really got to go to fringe places, like a place called Reset Era. If you don't know what Reset Era is, I'm not fixing to explain it because I do not want you exploring that hellhole. It is, in all intents and purposes, an absolute wasteland of depravity and depression. It's sick. Just, sick, slimy, and just overall just, disgusting. You don't want to be there. But in there dwells the vast majority of video game journalists. And they talk to each other about women like this. Basically saying, oh, well, the character design feels like it belongs in the 2009 era. You know, 2009 era, you know, where sexy women were allowed. This game apparently belongs back in those times, which I absolutely don't understand. Like, I don't understand. I really don't understand why they have such a problem with just women like this. And Stoofs, you know me, man. I just can't help myself. Look at those hips, dude. Look at them thighs, bro. Just look at them. Ah! I love them. I'm not gonna lie. But I want to say it's a PS5 exclusive, so I literally have to wait until this thing gets to PC. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Anyway, people. Journalists didn't like this. And they didn't like it to the point to where they just freaking just jerked each other off on just how much they didn't like the female design. But they literally could not complain about the game. Now, the reason why I bring this up is that there is a coordinated assault against female sexuality in gaming. And I view that as a problem because they're attacking female sexuality. But if I were to like freaking pixelate myself as this buff monkey dude, shirt off, abs for days, pectorals for days, always going into a battlefield shirtless, bro, they wouldn't bat an eye. They wouldn't bat an eye at all. But if I gender bent myself, you know, gave myself maybe some B cups and a luscious hips and ass, you know, not like I already have hips and ass already. Trust me, these baggy clothes hide a lot, Stoops know. You already know, Stoops. You know what's under these things. But, like, seriously, if I were to gender bend myself and look extraordinarily feminine, you know, then there will be a problem. Oh, why is she looking like that? Oh, she needs to cover up. Oh, freaking, this is clearly for the male gaze and blah, 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 blah. It's stupid. Let people enjoy what they want. It's a fundamental law in capitalism that vices sell. What's one of the vices that sells the most? Sex. Sex sells. This woman right here that I'm currently salivating on, she sells. She damn near got a pre-order out of me if I didn't have the system required to play the fucking game. That's the only thing that's stopping me, dude. Sex sells, man. It does. And it sells well. Alright. Now, other people will say like, well, Monkey, come on. Just look at her. She's over-sexualized. Of course we're gonna have a problem with it. Of course we must address it because people are looking at her like meat, man. It's a problem. It's demeaning. It's horrible. All right, dear viewer. You say that it's horrible. You say that it's a borderline atrocity to look at this woman like you want to just do unspeakable things to her. Fine. Sure. Whatever. However, I didn't hear any complaints about this one. I didn't hear any complaints about 2B. A2. Did you guys? Did you guys hear any complaints about these two luscious women? Luscious, strong, android women who can definitely kill me despite my combat prowess and my irresistible charms. They would kill me on the spot. Didn't hear a problem about these people. In fact, I've heard borderline worship of these two characters. But Monkey, you say, like, you know, Nier Automata, that was freaking a storytelling marvel. You know, some things can be excused. Oh, titties and ass can be excused as long as it's plot, right? Okay. Alright. Fine. Sure. What about this one? Ivy Valentine. From Soul Calibur. Look at her. Sophisticated. Luscious. French. Look at her, man. Exactly, like they bragged about the polygons, dude. But look at Ivy. Look at her. Now the thing is, she's borderline slutty for a reason. She just wants to be. That's how she dresses. Didn't hear a lot of complaints about that. You know, I didn't hear a lot of complaints about this. Look at her. Didn't hear a lot of complaints about Ivy Valentine. Didn't hear a lot of complaints about 2B. But look at her. She got massive titties. She has an ass that freaking flattens grass, alright? She has a freaking chain whip sword, which she can use on me at any time of the day, honey. But still, she's sexy. But hold on. I understand. I hear you people. But monkey, you say. All of these things are Japanese. Of course the Japanese are going to make their characters sexy. They're going to have some sex appeal thrown in there because, as you say, sex sells. But that's an Eastern thing. We're talking about Western values, people. Western values. The West doesn't like all them titties, man. The West doesn't like sex in their characters. They don't like sex in their video games these days, man. Okay. So the modern West doesn't like sex with their video game characters, especially the women. Shantae? But she's not. Oh, but yes, she is. Way Forward Games, American video game company. Shantae, look at her. Just reel it in. Just absorb it with your soul. Absorb it with your soul, people. Okay, but yeah, that's more like a little anime-ish style. We're talking about West, monkey. Come on, Monkey Jam. Represent us correctly. We're talking about West, man. All right. As I take a little sippy poo. We're talking about the West, monkey. Come on. You know Shantae is untouchable. We're talking about West, man. Come on. You're bringing up unfair examples. All right. I'll bring you up an example that's not a main protagonist or crucial. That's not, no. That's not a main protagonist. I'll bring you an example that's not a protagonist. All right. Shield Knight. The Enchantress. Now, mind you, these are fully clothed women. Fully clothed women. And I'd fuck both of them. Like, look at them. Look at them. Well, technically, spoilers, you know, they're the same fucking woman. But still, look at it. You got the slim sexy on the left, the bulky sexy on the right. Now, mind you, yes, they're not oozing with sexuality like the Japanese does. But they do recognize that they are women. And fairly attractive women, alright? Shovel Knight didn't save Shield Hero just because, oh, she's my friend. No, we all know why we saved the Shield Knight. Did I say Shield Hero? I could have sworn I said Shield Hero. God, I might need to watch it now. After fucking up that bad, I might need to watch it now. But I'm serious, people. Look. Just look. Just look. Just look. Just look. Think about it for a second. We have all of these examples of freaking just... Like we have freaking examples of just women, like fully clothed women, still having that era of sexy, still acknowledging that these are females and that the female form, when put through extreme stress, like jumping and fighting and flipping and kicking and doing all that shit, athletic women are sexy. Period. Now, to be fair, I do love me one well-rounded woman. But as far as in my video games, look, man, in my video games, I'm a moderately short, skinny, but fucking muscly manlet. I'm a rather short, skinny, muscly manlet, alright? That's my fantasy. That's why freaking the form you see here, baby, even though I got the curves of a trap, I got the abs of a heavy lifter. Alright? That's the fantasy, people. That is the fantasy. Okay? Men want fantasy in their game. Women want fantasy in their game. With fantasy comes sex. Men want their characters in their games to look sexy because it's a fantasy. Women want their female characters sexy in the game because it's a fantasy. It's a fantasy, people. It's fake. Alright? Now, Banana's right. If you can pull off sexy, fully clothed, then whoa! That's damn good character design. That's damn good character design. Alright? I'm just saying, people. Why is there such an attack on female sexuality in gaming when male sexuality is absolutely fine? Big buff dude, big buff shirtless dude, perfectly fine. Absolutely perfectly fine. But you just want a little itty bitty titty? Or even a collection of the itty bitty titty committee? No. No, apparently you're not allowed to enjoy the female form. But the females are allowed to enjoy your form as far as in gaming. Now, ain't that just a shame, man? Ain't that just an absolute shame? I just can't fathom why it's like this. All right, I honestly cannot. It makes no sense to me. And just the sheer reality of it honestly disgusts me. I should say it honestly disgusts me to a certain extent. I don't understand why. I just don't. Do you guys understand why? Do you guys get what's going on with these people? Why we as gamers, we're not allowed to just enjoy our female characters? You know? Why can't we just enjoy our female characters? Why can't we enjoy our male characters? Why can't I have a sexy female character and a sexy male character? Why can't I have sex in my video games? Why not? Why not? It's a fantasy. It's a fantasy. And not only that, fantasy sells, sex sells. So if you have sexual fantasy, bro, you're selling. To be like, okay, now let's do some real stuff. Let's have a real conversation, people. Let's have a real conversation with Daddy Monkey, all right? When you heard of Nier Automata, what was the first thing that popped into your mind that got you interested in the game? Was it, oh well, was it like, oh well, the plot, the plot little synopsis looks absolutely cool. I'm loving the sci-fi, the vague sci-fi post-apocalyptic vibe that it's giving me. I like the little robots, the clothes are actually looking good. The case cover looking fine. You flip the back of the case. Oh yeah, this little synopsis is actually kind of hidden. Maybe I'll invest the time in it. It seems like a very good story. Now, did you think that, or did you think, God damn, that woman. Woo! Jesus Christ. They let that woman out the fucking room? Jesus, she got a fucking giant sword? She has 2 giant swords. Why does she have 2 giant swords? Those are robots. We got freaking a chick in a Skippy maid outfit with giant floating swords behind her and a robot shooting shit, and fuck, I'm buying it. Think about it. Think about it. Just think about it. Just think about it. But then, dude was looking up. He was looking up porn. Man was looking up porn. Found that shit. Oh shit. Yo, this looks hot. Oh wait, it's a game? Yo, I'm fixing to play it. Sex sells, people. Fantasy sells. If you can't utilize the sheer power of fantasy and story to sell your game, throwing a dash of sex in it just makes it better. Because guess what? It appeals to the human senses. I like looking at this. I want to continue looking at this. I'm going to buy it to continue looking at this. And then you get hit with, wow, not only is she hot, she's a good fighter. wow, this story is fucking amazing. Wow, the visuals are awesome. Wow, the gameplay is immaculate. Like, you get, like, slapped back to back to back to back to back to back to back. You get slapped with this stuff. You know? And the thing is that the first thing that sold it was looking at that cover, looking at the fantasy and sex in that cover, and buying it. That's why Nier Automata sold out like fucking candy and still continues to be one of the best video games at this point ever fucking created. It's because sex sells, people. Sex sells. And whether you love it or hate it, it is a tool of selling. Alright? It's a tool. It's a thing in your arsenal to use in order to boost your game even further. Alright? It is a tool. So whether you personally like it or not, or it's just like, oh, well, it's not relevant to the game. If you want it to sell like wildfire, you gotta have a little bit of sex in it. Just a little bit. Enough to get the eyes. You get yourself a nice little vaguely Asian looking half naked man on there. And you get yourself like just a female, slightly skimpy looking, probably cutting off somebody's head on that fucking cover. Bruh, you'll get people buying it. You'll get people buying it. I promise you. You'll get people buying it. Okay? I don't understand why there's such an attack on this thing. But at the end of the day, I guess you just kind of have to accept it. You know? You kind of have to accept that these things are happening, and maybe one day it'll end. Maybe one day it'll just be done. But it's sad. It's disheartening. And it kind of pulls at you, you know? And speaking about sad things, things that pull at you, things that are just a borderline tragedy, you know? We're going to switch to the last topic of the stream. And the last topic of the stream is something that is pretty near and dear to me. I do mean that in a most literal sense. It's very dear to me because it's one of the things that set me on the path of creating. Not only doing the talk show type streams that I'm doing, but also just writing in general, doing comic book writing, doing games and everything. This particular topic is what inspired me further, and that topic is, well, other than that, choose your way, Western man. Oh my god, I totally skipped over my notes about that. So the thing is, one on the right, that's the Western woman. Alright? That is the Western woman. This is a woman, by the way. And then on the right, you got 2B. You got 2B, man. You got a Western woman on the left. You got 2B on the right. Pick your way, Western man. Pick your way. What are we going to do? But what we're going to do now is that it's time to cry version. Oh no. We're talking about Berserk, people. The last chapter. 364. Which is ironic because if it would have ended on 365, I might have had to kill myself. But this is the last Berserk chapter produced by Miura Sensei. Kentaro Miura, the man behind the Berserk, everything. The man behind Berserk, period. He's gone. He's dead. Passed away. And the publisher didn't know what to do. You know, we have no idea if there's extra manuscripts, if he actually finished, you know, the manga and was just drawing everything out. We don't know. We don't know if there's a written manuscript for this stuff. So when chapter 364 came out, everybody, and I do mean everybody, was salivating. They wanted to see what was going to happen. And what happened was just, it was just, Now, if you're not caught up with the Berserk manga, I'm going to suggest that you uh, pause this stream. I would say pause this stream. Reacquaint yourself with the Berserk manga. If you're watching it live, I'm sorry, you fixed to get spoiled live. So this is a spoiler warning right here. Okay? Spoiler warning. If you're watching this after the fact, pause it. Go read Berserk all the way, and then come back, and then we'll discuss. But for those of you that haven't read it all the way, spoilers. All right? We good? We good? We good? Okay. We're going into it. So, I'm just going to talk about the 3 characters, well, 4 that we see in here. All right? We got Berserk. We got Berserk. Oh my god, I sound like a mother. Ah! No. We have fucking Guts up there, top left, and then going down, we have a newly restructured, mentally reconstituted Casca and Banan. I understand. I get it because Shield Hero never interested me at all, and Demon Slayer never interested me at all. But like, it's still super popular, and people keep recommending it to me. Now, I am going to watch Demon Slayer a little bit later. I want to travel and watch it with someone. So, once I get everything together, I will start watching it, I promise. And then I'll give you maybe a Mucky reviews, maybe a Mucky's opinion on it. But I would say whenever it does catch your interest, Banan, give it a look-see. Because it goes over stuff and it talks about stuff that is pretty critical. And it's just a masterpiece of writing. But we have our characters right here. We got Guts, Casca, Griffith on the right. That piece of shit. Fucking Griffith. And then we have this little kid right here. The one that's laying right next to Casca. Now, the one that's laying right next to Casca, that is the child of Guts and Casca. And this child basically died and was consumed by an evil spirit, right? Consumed by an evil spirit. And I get you, Stoops. It is pretty heavy, but you don't know how fucking heavy, dude. Like, I would say read it in short slices, and then when you start really getting down, read something else and then come back. Oh, well, okay. Violet Evergarden. I'm over here talking about different shit than fucking Berserk, but Violet Evergarden, man, it is emotionally heavy, but it's emotionally heavy in people in, like, you know, saying like this past soldier dealing with PTSD and basically making herself, like, how does this soldier really reconnect with society? And she reconnects in society in a very beautiful, very heavy way. It affects people in a very heavy way. I personally steer clear away from Violet Evergarden after my first viewing because I was going through a terrible breakup at the time. And I have bad association with that. I have bad association with Violet Evergarden and Darling in the Franxx, but then again, Darling in the Franxx is just a bad anime. But but still, like, ugh. While Violet Evergarden is emotionally heavy, Berserk is just heavy, period. Like, Berserk is a very heavy anime. I want to say it's actually marketed as the world's heaviest manga, and they're not that title is almost well earned. I would say it's almost well earned. All right, but that's why I said if it piques your interest, go ahead, give it a check out. All right, but what I wanted to address was just the recent chapter that came out for Berserk, which was a mindfuck, and B, just, one could say, truly encapsulates what Berserk is. And what Berserk is that basically no matter what you do, no one wins. No one truly wins in the end when it comes to Berserk. And now since Miura Sensei has passed, it's gotten to a point to where even the audience doesn't win in the end. Which one could say is the perfect encapsulation of Berserk. Because no one wins. The child that's laying right next to Casca, bottom left, that is the child between Guts and Casca, who basically just died and was consumed by a demon, if you will. Once every full moon, the child will actually come back, interact with Guts and Casca, and then on the morning next, it'll disappear without a trace, giving it the name the Moonlight Child because it appears only in moonlight. Now, the thing is, Griffith is a problem. And I want to say Griffith is a fundamental problem because Griffith was basically that demon that consumed the child. Fusing its soul with the child's soul and creating for himself a new body. But with that new body came consequences. While he completely separated himself from his humanity, becoming Femto, a god hand, if you will, he basically became a demon in order to realize his dream of having a kingdom. But in order to get a physical body, in order to enjoy that kingdom, he consumed and incorporated himself into the abominable child that is between Guts and Casca, creating a new body. So now, every time under a full moon, Griffith, the man behind Guts' suffering and Casca's torment, every full moon he transforms into their child. And for a night and a day, he interacts with them as their child. Now, the thing is, a lot of people say that, oh, this is Griffith getting in touch with his humanity. I don't think so. Because Griffith no longer has humanity. He sacrificed that in order to achieve his dream, destroying the lives of Guts and Casca in the process. The emotions that he felt that led to him crying in this image right here, I don't believe those are the emotions of him. Those are the emotions of the child not being able to truly stay with its parents. But the thing that I wanted to hark on is that this is, if it is the end of Berserk, it is the perfect end to Berserk. Because think about it like this. Guts has been on a revenge binge, alright? The only thing he wanted out of life was to fucking kill this white-haired bastard. That's all that he wanted to do, and he was willing to do anything to do it. He wanted to kill him because of what he did to both Guts and Casca, alright? Out of sheer revenge and love for Casca, Guts set on a quest to basically make sure that Casca gets somewhere safe. And the only safe place for her was an island of fairies. And but the thing is, Guts can't win any longer. He can't kill Griffith. Because the thing is, as Griffith exists right now, Griffith is bound to his child. His child, his kid. And Guts has killed children. Guts has killed children, alright? He ain't afraid to do it now. He's killed children accidentally. I will put that in context. He's killed children accidentally. But the fact remains, he's killed children. But that's his kid. He can't win anymore. He can't. He can't take his revenge anymore. His whole quest for revenge, literally breaking his body, pushing it to the absolute limit and even beyond. All of it now pointless. Because his enemy is his child. And Casca, he loses with Casca as well, because even though her mind is now restructured, every time she looks at him, she only sees trauma. She sees demons. She feels pain, suffering, anguish. Evil is associated with Guts in her mind. But as well as evil, there is also love, which leads to a conflict. The PTSD from her trauma overrides the love that she has for Guts, leading for her to scream every time she sees him or even remembers him. Guts loses. He can't have the love of his life, and he can't even have the simplest pleasure of having the knowledge that his child is his. Casca loses because the one of the main things that holds her mind together is also the thing that broke it in the first place. Now every time that she sees that child, she's going to be reminded of Griffith and what he did to her. What he did to her family. What he did to Guts. Casca loses. Guts loses. And, I won't say most importantly, but still importantly, Griffith loses. Because after all he did to separate himself from his family, from Casca, from Guts, from humanity in general, sacrificing everything, even his humanity, in order to get the kingdom that he desires, every full moon, he will be reminded of what he sacrificed. Every full moon, he will literally be forced to experience that humanity, experience those emotions, experience the love, or even a deeper love that he could have ever had for these two people that he still needs to sacrifice in order to truly get what he wants. He has to experience that. Every full moon, he has to become human. And it's agony for him. It's absolutely agony. Because he's reminded of what he's done. And at the end of the day, when you give a man that sacrificed everything for his dream, even his humanity, and you introduce it back, the only thing that he feels is ravishing guilt. Ravishing guilt. Breaking you down, eating you up, destroying you, eating you alive. Griffith loses. Guts loses. Casca loses. And now, most importantly, if this is the last chapter, we lose. We as the audience lose. We lose. Because we're not going to get any more. This is it. Everybody loses. This is the new status quo. There is no hero that comes out on top. There is no villain that is ultimately defeated. There are no people that are ultimately saved. The world is just as shit as how it started in the first place. We've gone back full circle, and instead of gaining a new status quo, we're relatively back into the same status quo, where everyone loses, everyone suffers. And suffering and struggle, that's Berserk. Berserk is as I said, it is struggling and suffering. And the thing is, there's no clear hero in Berserk. We have a protagonist that we root for, Guts. But Guts is not a hero. Just as Griffith, despite all the evils that he has done, is not all the way a villain. As much as I hate him, as much as I absolutely want to twist his fucking twink head off, he's not entirely a villain. He's not. He's not a villain. Guts is not a hero. Casca isn't saved. The world isn't doomed, but neither is it blessed. It's just a new status quo of suffering, malice, and struggle. And that is berserk. In fact, the infuriating cycle of suffering and struggle and going back to suffering and going back to struggle can make one, in a sense, go berserk. Go mad with how cyclical it can get. And ain't that the perfect end to a damn near perfect manga? Well, people, that's going to be it out of me today. I've given you an hour and 30 minutes of pure entertainment. And I truly hope that you learned something today. I truly hope that I piqued your interest, made you question things, made you look at things in a different light, and ultimately made you laugh. Because in this day and age where men and even women are being ostracized for things, for their own preferences and opinions and emotions and options, we need to laugh, man. We need to laugh. We need to have a chuckle, but then we also need to stay informed of what's happening. So, with that in mind, take it easy, have fun, keep some music in your heart, keep on jamming. This has been The Grotto Show with your host, Monkey Jam. Monkey out, baby. Ah, shit, I forgot to mention. I fucking forgot to mention. Before you guys leave, if you guys actually like the music in the background, that was a few tracks sent to me by a friend of mine. His name is Asper Kraken. Like, Asper is in like Asperger's, and then Kraken is in, well, you know how to spell Kraken. I want to say you can find him on Facebook and SoundCloud, but he really goes into the chiptunes. That's the thing that you're listening to now. And it may not be permanently these tracks because I'm definitely going to commission some more pretty soon. This is for a separate project. But I mean, if you like the background music, feel free to let me know and I'll do a little bit more of that. But anyway, just wanted to let you guys know. Alright then, peace.